Sonic hasn't been the same for years. Ever since Sega tried to reboot the series in 2006, Sonic has been slowly going downhill for the last 10 years, and I've gotta say, it was sad seeing one of my childhood heroes fall in such a way. One of the first games I played was Sonic Adventure, and since then I've gone back and played all the original 2D Sonic games, so let's just say I'm no rookie when it comes to Sonic games. When I saw Sonic Mania, at first I was skeptical. I wasn't sure if Sonic Team would be able to capture what made the original 2D Sonic games so fun. However, it actually turns out that the game wasn't developed by Sonic Team at all. The game was developed by Christian Whitehead, Headcanon, and Pagoda West Games, all of which were very small indie developers that were trusted by Sega to develop and create Sonic Mania. So basically, fans of the series were able to make a better Sonic game than Sonic Team were able to make in 15 years, as Sonic Mania is the highest rated Sonic game in that amount of time. So what is it that makes Sonic Mania so good? The level design in Sonic Mania is exactly what you'd expect in terms of a classic Sonic game. The levels favour platforming over speed sections because at its heart that's what Sonic has always been, a platformer. Of course there are a handful of speed sections dotted around each stage and they have been improved upon drastically. Sonic now runs much faster and there's also a new animation for when he reaches max speed, which I thought was a nice addition because it really emphasised how fast you were moving. The clever placement of traps and enemies also caught me off guard multiple times, which was refreshing to see. The game was challenging, unlike the modern Sonic games that have consisted of holding the X button and sprinting through linear levels that only have one or two pathways. However, this isn't to say that I didn't enjoy this type of gameplay because Sonic Unleashed is in fact my favourite Sonic game, as I think it really showed the raw speeds that Sonic could reach. I'm just saying the level design of Sonic Mania is a lot more complex than that of a modern Sonic game, because there are many different ways that you can reach your goal, whether that is swimming, jumping, or sprinting your way to the end. The levels in Sonic Mania just felt like the older games with some new added features. However, it really stayed true to the gameplay that made the original so great. It changed the various features of the 2D games just enough that it felt different, but not enough to make it feel like uncharted territory. The game feels natural to play and the level design really does help with this because everything's familiar, especially because the first two stages are Green Hill Zone and Chemical Plant Zone, which are notoriously always the first and second stages of the original 2D Sonic games. What's great about Sonic Mania is that the game eases you in with concepts that you know and levels that you're familiar with before dropping you into the new zones that still feel somewhat familiar due to the mechanics of the game being based around platforming, defeating enemies, and collecting rings. At the end of each stage there is a boss. They aren't too difficult, however one in particular proved pretty tricky because the game uses a new depth of field mechanic that allows 2D sprites to move in a 3D way. This added some dynamicity to the boss, although it took some getting used to. Overall, the level designs in Sonic Mania are solid and fun. I enjoyed the return to the roots of Sonic, which meant that the game was more of a platformer and required precision, instead of running through levels as fast as you can. The game felt exactly like classic Sonic games, but added its own new features into the mix to keep things interesting. As previously mentioned, the gameplay of the game is very much like the classic Sonic games, with a very heavy focus on platforming. Comparing this to the more recent Sonic games is definitely a nice change of pace that required you to focus instead of holding one button down and destroying everything in your path. However, not everything is perfect. I found myself dying for unknown reasons very rarely, although that may have just been down to me being bad at the game and not understanding what was happening. The gameplay is responsive and you feel fully in control of Sonic. If I had to criticize anything, then it would be the one level that you begin on the tornado, and that section really is very unresponsive. You control the plane by moving the analog stick and you have a tiny platform to walk on. I see what they were doing here, but it just didn't feel like I had full control of the plane itself, and I found myself dying because the plane just didn't move fast enough for me to get out of the way of enemies. Apart from this though, every stage was incredibly fun to play, and the gameplay was exactly how you'd expect it to be in terms of a classic Sonic title. I'm very happy that they stayed true to how the old games felt, even if I didn't play them upon release. On another note, there was also hidden bonus stages that can be found in each zone that altered the view so that it was behind Sonic, and the level turned into 3D. These were very reminiscent of Sonic R, just without the awful bugs and glitches that came with that game. The bonus stages are interesting, however, I didn't go out of my way to find them, I just completed them as they came. They were put in as bonus content so you can take it or leave it really. I believe it was a nod to the old games because the originals also had these bonus stages, so I believe that it was a fan service if anything. Overall, the gameplay of Sonic Mania is responsive and it feels good to play. It stays true to the originals and is overall a really fun experience, and at the end of the day I believe that's what Sonic should be at its heart. There's not much I can say about the graphics or the visuals of the game, but I'm glad they kept the 8-bit art style, opposed to the abomination that was Sonic 4, which attempted a 2.5D style, in which the game had 3D character models and environments, but the whole game was played from the side. I just don't think that you can make a classic Sonic game and have modern graphics, it just doesn't work. Ultimately, I'm very glad that they kept the look of the old games. However, it had the clarity and performance of a game that came out this year. The game can run at 60 FPS 4K on the PS4 Pro, which looks amazing. There really would be no excuse for this game not being 60 FPS because what current gen console wouldn't be able to run it at 60 FPS? However, the 4K just adds clarity to the overall look of the game and makes everything look crisper. This makes the vibrant environments of the game pop a whole lot more and allows you to appreciate the intricate detail that went into the creation of the stages in this game, and how much care was put into creating authentic classic Sonic levels that do justice to the old games in the series. The levels do look truly fantastic, and I can appreciate that each one was designed and handcrafted by a passionate team. In summary, Sonic Mania is proof that developers need to listen to fans. Sonic Mania wasn't made by Team Sonic or some other huge developer hired by Sega, it was developed by fans in the Sonic community that have a passion for the game, and I think that is extremely admirable. Sonic Mania is proof that no matter how much time passes, great level design, gameplay, and a great deal of care never fails, and that's why I think Sonic Mania is one of the best Sonic games in the last 15 years, and that it deserves all of the praise that it gets. Anyway, that is the end of the video, guys. I hope you guys did enjoy it. I wanted to make a really quick review on Sonic Mania because I blitzed through it in about 5 hours and I really enjoyed myself. It was a great experience and definitely one of the best Sonic games of recent years. Anyway, be sure to go ahead and like and subscribe for more gaming news, content and reviews in the future, and also remember to comment down in the comment section below telling me what you thought of Sonic Mania. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed and I'll see you guys in the next one.